Welcome to the Family Geekery Podcast, a podcast for geeks from a family of geeks. We talk about comics, video games, and anything else geeky. I'm Amber.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm happy I didn't say Greeks a billion times. But anyways, welcome to our second week of RetroSeptembo, our first week with a game. And today we're talking about Dragon Warrior.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Or Dragon Quest, if you're not from America.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But first,
Geeky weeks.
who wants to kick it off?
I'll kick it off.
All right.
I've been playing Dragon Warrior
Dude, no way.
a lot.
Wow.
Me
That's
too.
what a coincidence.
Yeah. What else? I'm sure I've done some other stuff. Still playing some other games here and there.
It's Monday night. Our brains are all jelly.
Yeah. Someone else go and it may spur my memory.
Okay. I played some Dragon Warrior.
Wow, no way.
Coincidence.
And then I watched the third Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh, that's the weird one, isn't it?
I couldn't remember if I seen it before, so I watched it again.
That's the weird
maybe
one,
not
isn't
again. They're all kind of weird.
it? Is it Ross Lynch or no? That's a different movie.
No.
Hmm.
It was decent. Not as good as the other ones.
No.
But it was good. I haven't really played any games. I'm still watching New Girl. But yeah, that's kind of it for me.
Okay.
Oh, I've been playing more Roblox.
Oh, Dress to Impress?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that's it.
Well, we all played a new Disney trivia game as a family.
Oh, that's right.
Very similar to Trivial Pursuit, but I don't know if the questions had categories. And I'm happy because I won.
Good job.
Thank you. And
you amazed your mother with your insane memory of obscure Disney songs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like what Merida's weapon of choice is. That was really hard.
Yeah.
That was so hard. I had to go back, way back in my mind to remember that she uses bows. No.
I had to name all 6. I don't remember. All 6 something. Anyways, go ahead.
I also watched the newest Studio Ghibli movie, which is The Boy and the Heron.
How was that?
I've got thoughts, a lot of good ones, and some interesting ones. Overall, I think it's definitely worth watching. Like, I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think the timing is a little weird in places, but a really cool story, and of course, great animation. So it's on Max now, with all the other Ghibli movies. So check it out. And I watched the first episode of that new Netflix show, Chaos, which is about Greek mythology.
Nice.
Right up your alley.
And it's got the funny guy from Jurassic Park. Leather jacket in Jurassic Park.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
He's in those movies, aren't he?
He's in Jurassic World.
Okay.
They literally
That's
just
like the
made
same
magic
thing.
cards for this guy. Jeff Goldblum.
Close.
That's the one.
The other funny guy with the leather jacket.
I don't think Chris Pratt wears a leather jacket in
He has a bomber
those
jacket
movies.
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Anyway, so that show is it's funny. It's interesting. It's like a modern day kinda, but like if modern day was still like worshiping the Greek gods, and instead of like LA, it's like Thebes or whatever, Crete maybe. But It's cool. I only watched the first episode, but it's got potential. And I think that's it for me.
I did remember something else,
Nice.
and
Yay.
I knew there was something else that I wanted to talk about, and
Is
it
it
was
your crazy sandwich?
no, but that crazy sandwich was so good. That's for a different podcast, though.
Food podcast, hit us up.
Yeah, foodery geekery. No, the reason why we were even in that area is we traveled to a distant land to visit one of the GameStop retro stores. I think I told you guys about that. That they're making a retro store that's supposed to have retro stuff, all stuff before Xbox 360. I think.
That's so
Wow.
cute.
So Xbox 360 is almost
RetroSeptembo.
retro.
Yeah,
Wow.
perfect timing for RetroSeptembo. So I looked up on GameStop's website. It said there's one in such and such city. We drove all the way to that city, and it looked exactly like a GameStop. After I called them and said, "Hey, is this one of the retro locations?" They said yes. So I
Uh-huh.
went there, and I'm shopping around for 5 or 6 minutes, afraid to ask the weird dude behind the desk if this is the retro location that I actually called them about.
Yeah.
Pulled up my phone, verified that the address and the phone number matched the one that I called. That I asked the dude, "Is this a retro location?"
Yeah.
And just as I'm about to question the dude, I notice on the wall there's about, I don't know, 4 linear shelf space of PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and Nintendo DS games.
And that's what they consider the retro?
That's it. So I did confirm with him, "Hey,
Oh.
is this what you mean by is this a retro location?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh,
It's not
I was under the
retro.
impression that it was going to be the entire store." And he goes, "Oh no, GameStop couldn't afford to do that. They can't even afford to pay us."
Oh,
And
man.
that ended that discussion. I didn't want to
Wow.
get into that discussion. So, but
Hmm.
we did bought a couple things off the buy one get one free clearance section,
Nice.
and looked around for a little bit, and then left. Now, in the meantime, on the GameStop website, in their discussions of this retro movement that they're making, they have they're getting together with some other company to make a retro handheld that will play like Game Boy and Game Boy Color games and stuff like that. And it looks like they put a lot of thought into, a nice metal shell and a really nice screen, but very authentic, resolution and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks pretty cool, and but it's like $200.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And all of those old games are really expensive, too.
yeah, some of them are. Yep. So I think I'll stick with the Temu like $40 special that comes with 4,000 games. But yeah, so I like the idea. Maybe a larger market, because the place I was at is not what I would consider a large market, but maybe a larger market like New York City could afford to dedicate an
Mm.
entire store to a retro location. So I'll have to check that out and
Yeah,
see.
call GameStop and give them your ideas.
Yeah, like if you say you're going to be a retro location, like do that. But it was cool. It's kind of fun to see older games on a shelf in any manner.
That's
True.
crazy because, like, that's all the games were when I was a kid.
Yeah, like how is that retro? I'm just a
Well,
baby.
it's like they probably just like have whatever they didn't sell in 2005, put it up there. Ah, PlayStation.
Well, they
Get your
usually
DS.
have the bins of like DS games anyways, so they just took them out of there and put them on a shelf.
They're putting them in a dedicated location now,
That's
I'm
weird.
calling it
at a
retro
location near
to
you.
appeal.
Yeah. But the sandwich was worth the travel, so
Nice.
I'll just be happy with that win. But yeah, that's about it. So are we ready to get into RetroSeptembo?
Week
Yeah.
1.
Dragon Warrior edition.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of set the stage for you guys before we discuss this game. Just,
Okay.
you kind of went into the game cold, and I want to set the stage now so you can understand why the game may be like what the game is. So, flashback, I don't know, 40 years or so, and this game, I own this game. This game would have been one of maybe 3 games in my Nintendo collection at the time. So I remember going to the store, buying it, I think for like $39.99, so $40.
Wow.
And think about that. You would think twice before spending $40 on a video game now, right? If it's a
Mhm.
AAA like Baldur's Gate 3 or something, then you know you're dropping $60 on something like that. But $40 is still, you would think about it before you bought it. But then
Yeah.
think that $40 back in 1989 would be closer to like at least, you know, 70, $80 today. So that's what we're dropping on the game. But
On
like
this game.
yeah, that's on this game. But again, remember I said it's like one of 3 games on my shelf at that point because the
Mhm.
Nintendo came with Super Mario Brothers. So I've got that. And then just a handful of other games by the time this one came out. So the idea is you would buy something like this and you would just play it and play it and play it and play it. And you would do that until you beat the game.
Right.
Now, today's a little different time where you're almost endless buffet of games in front of you, whether it's on a Steam account or on a console or on your phone. You would almost lack, unless you dedicated yourself to finishing a game like this, you would lack the concentration to get through this game if someone wasn't forcing you to do so for a podcast or something.
What?
But at the time, it was just, hey, this is what I'm going to be playing for the next 6 months or something,
Right.
because that's when I have to, save up the money for the next game that I buy like this. So hopefully that makes more sense as to why this game is such a grind. You may be just loading it up for an hour, killing a couple monsters, and saving that game, and not being concerned about trying to finish it in a week or whatever that is.
Right.
So that's the mindset I want you to get into as you think about your experience with this game over the past week. So that being
Well,
said,
I have
go ahead.
thoughts about that
Okay.
because it's really similar. Like I didn't have such a problem with the grindiness of the game. Because to me it was really reminiscent of like Pokemon and training your training your little Pokemon to either like to EV train to like train up a specific stat or to like shiny hunt or just to level them up in general. It's the same exact mechanic. Go to
Right.
a place where you can like one shot things and just run around and one shot everything until you until you need to go heal.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I didn't have a big problem with it being grindy.
All right.
It just
And
needs
before
more cute little pocket monsters.
and before we get into our discussion of the game, let me just again review what it is that we played.
Yeah.
So, Dragon Warrior, otherwise known as Dragon Quest, when it was released in Japan in 1986. It didn't make it to North America until 1989, and there was some kind of a copyright problem with the term Dragon Quest, so they went with Dragon Warrior. Um, Developed by Chunsoft, but published by Enix. Enix, half of the Square Enix that we know today for really big titles like Final Fantasy and
Mhm.
um,
Dragon Quest.
Kingdom Hearts and that kind of stuff. It was written by Yuji Horii, and he made some video games before this. He was thinking about going into comic books or manga, but he decided to go with the video game route, and he was the main writer of this. Artist was Akira Toriyama, who was also famous for manga, and he created Dragon Ball.
Oh, cool.
And the composer, who is very acclaimed and very praised for this for the soundtrack of this, is Koichi Sugiyama. And although I think the majority of the time that I played this go around, I had it on mute because I'm playing it in front of a TV and I don't want to disturb other people watching the TV. But
Other
but
person.
yeah,
and
but
Penny.
but the soundtrack is great, and it's been adapted over the
Agree.
years into symphonies and stuff like that. So we got a great team making this. Part of this team goes on to make much bigger games after this. Of course, the Dragon Quest series is still going on, I think now.
Wow.
So that's where we're at. So
Nice.
let's talk about the game. Who wants to go first? I know you started with your Pokemon um, similarities, Amber. How about
Yeah.
you, Danny? What's your first impression of this game?
Well, I started playing, and like I was talking to the king or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Tell me what to do. And he's like, go.
Go.
I'm like, okay. So I'm exploring and look at all the stuff. And I get to the, what would you call it? Like the fields, the monster fields.
The Overland.
Yeah. So at this point, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I get to the overlands, and I'm like, oh, a monster. Okay, I killed him pretty easy. I walk a little bit further, and then it's like a big one. I'm like, okay, let me try. Nope, I'm dead. Um, so I was like, oh, maybe this is what I have to do. And then I kind
So
of just
hearing
figured it out.
hearing you describe this, is this your first like RPG of this type game that you've played before?
Like, what do you mean? Like, what type? Like,
Like what you just described, walking around an overland, hitting a random encounter of a monster and fighting that monster.
um, I feel like I've played similar, but not like a lot.
Because this is very different from like Fortnite
I've
or
played
Overwatch.
Pokemon Go. It's kind
It's
of
pretty
similar.
different for it's pretty different for
I bump
Pokemon
into
Go.
people and I fight them. But yeah, so I didn't really know what I was doing until I started fighting the monsters and getting money.
All right. So how far did you make it?
Mm, level 5.
Level 5.
Yeah.
So here's a text that I sent to the girls. I think a day into playing,
Yeah.
I said, "Fair warning, this game is very grindy. Allot yourself enough time to level up to 10 or 11 so you can kill the green dragon." So that's the quest I gave them, to kill the green dragon. Feel free to use walkthroughs online so you know what areas towns to go to next. The people in towns do an okay job leading you in the right direction, but it's not always clear. So that was Tuesday of last week, and I warned them it's going to take some time. It's
You
very
warned
grindy,
me.
but
You did. I
I know you've been
failed.
busy. I know you've been busy, and I know it's hard to um, get excited about a game that you may not know a whole lot about in the first place.
Well,
But
like it was fun, and then like I leveled up to level 5, and then it was like, okay, get like 100 more XP now. I'm like, I'm getting like one from every monster.
right,
And then I can't buy the next sword because that's like 180 or something.
yeah. So this game very simplistic in its mechanics. Fight, get gold and experience, level up when you can, buy new stuff when you can, and then
It's
find a
like,
new area to fight and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
So Danny, You didn't know about the man at the castle that restores your magic?
No.
Yeah,
I would
there's a
just
guy
sleep.
at the starter town.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, only 6 gold to rest.
Hey, that's a lot of gold for me.
Where was the guy that would restore your magic?
In the castle.
With the king?
Yeah, he's like on the main. He's on the room just to the right of the entrance. He's like a
Oh,
wizard guy, standing behind a desk,
Oh.
and he restores your magic.
I completely missed him too.
Oh, the walkthrough I looked at did it. Told me about it.
So that would at least let you heal for free
Yeah. So I
once you
would
get the heal
only
spell.
yeah, I would only stay at the inn for like emergencies.
Um.
Uh,
Yeah.
Smart.
But of course, if there was an emergency, I'd be some random other town where it's cost 50 to sleep instead of 6.
Right. It gets a little costly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially when it gets up to like 100 at some points.
See, I don't know if level 10 is good enough to kill a green dragon because I was having trouble killing ghosts and birds. Not the ghosts, not the ghosts. The like the wolves and the
Oh, okay.
birds.
Did you make it to where the green dragon was?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I made it to the town where you can buy the town where you can buy the magic armor, but I didn't buy the magic armor.
Oh, okay. So that's in the northeast, I guess, from the main starter town.
That one's like southeast. You have to go like around, I think. I don't know. I visited like four towns,
Okay.
4 or 5.
All right. So tell me about your experience then, Amber, other than what you
Um,
said so far.
well, I would put on a TV show and half pay attention to that and half just run around. But it got to the point where I was like, you know, making enough money, but I skipped one armor, and that really
Hmm.
like I don't know, like I was chilling on the most, not the clothes, but the one above clothes
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Leather or
So if
something.
I wasn't one-shotting things, I was like getting messed up.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't doing the most damage. I was mostly because I only had the hand axe at the end, which is like the second upgrade. Um, but I did eventually get more armor and went to the people and still got messed up by like bigger things. So
And what level did you make it to?
I made it to level 10,
Okay.
which was my goal because that's what you said, go to level 10. And I tried my best to get to level 10, and I'm like, I don't think I'm doing any kinds of saving princesses or killing dragons or anything anytime soon.
Well, you may surprise yourself.
And I put like 6 hours into the game or something, so I don't know if I wasn't the most
Efficient.
efficient, but also like
I was
there's only so
definitely not
much you can do
efficient.
with your money.
Right.
like like when you're killing a ghost and you get, or the drakies. I like that they were drakies.
Right.
When they give you 4 money, and it's like, okay, I need 3,000 to get this armor.
Right.
And I'm like, I got to the point near the end when I like stopped playing. I was in my little section, which is like just to the east and like across the bridge. I found like there were like the medium hard guys there, like the scorpion and like the magicians and stuff. And I was finding that like even they were starting to run away from me. And I'm like, but I can't kill the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Like I
Yeah.
was like begging for the skeletons because the skeletons started to not do any damage to me. So and I was like not quite one-shotting them, but I was like, okay, give me skeletons, and then it'd be like, oh, it's a Magidrakey. Oh, it's running away. And I'm like, but this one at least gives me like 11 gold. Why is it running? Why are you running?
So
Hmm.
obviously they run if your attack stats are considerably larger than their defense stats.
Yeah.
So if they think you're going to be easily one-shotting them, they start to run away at that point.
To like enforce you to find bigger ones.
Yep.
But the bigger ones were
Hmm.
messing me up. I would have to. I also like barely used magic
What?
because it didn't seem like the magic was. Well, I would heal, but I wasn't doing like offensive
I was using
magic.
hurt because I had a pole. Wasn't doing much with the pole.
Yeah, this game, the only real the heal and the heal more spells are the important ones. Of course,
Yeah.
there's some other very utilitarian spells for getting out of dungeons and then going back to the main starter town, which you get later on. But as far as like battle goes, heal is very weak. It only gets you like 10 hit points as opposed to an herb that you can buy that gets you a little bit more, like 20 or so. But nobody can afford to be stacking up a bunch of herbs when they're trying to save up for a hand axe.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like you grind, get whatever that new thing is, and whether it's the shield or the weapon or the armor. And then once you get that, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to start all the way back at like 0 gold again and save up
Yeah.
for the next thing. And the advantages, they are noticeable, but they're still marginal in between, weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's a very slow progression as to where you are. There was one point in the game where I would kill one thing and pop back into the town, go to the inn, go back out, kill one thing, pop
Yeah.
back into the town. And actually, once I got the magic armor, so the magic armor heals you every 4 steps, 1 hit point.
Hmm.
Wait, did you say you got the magic armor?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
I
would,
was looking at the wiki and like, what is even the difference between? Because I don't know. I didn't know the difference, but then I looked it up and I was like, wow, that sounds awesome.
yeah, but it was still slow. You'd go out, you'd kill one thing, pop into town, and then walk back and forth for a minute, and then go outside, kill one thing, go back
That's
inside,
funny.
walk around. So level 10. What'd you say you were rocking as your weapon and armor?
I had the hand axe, the full plate, and the large shield.
Nice, full plate, large shield. So you can, yeah, get yourself a new weapon and go kill
Yeah,
that dragon.
that was my next plan was to get the sword that's
It's a
like 1500 or something like
broadsword,
that.
maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. So, are you ready for my status?
Yeah, I
I
guess. Let's
I
hit it with us. Hit
I
us with
grinded
it.
like crazy.
Hmm.
I got to level 20.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm rocking Erdrick's sword, Erdrick's armor, and silver shield. I got
Okay.
got a strength of 84, agility of 88, 126 maximum hit points,
Oh my
128
gosh.
maximum magic points, and I've completed the game.
Whoa.
You
You
killed the
saved
dragon and
her?
princess?
Killed the Dragon Lord, saved, and got the magic orb of light or whatever, so I can walk around and there's no monsters left.
Nice.
But
I
it
I
was
found the
a
magic
grind.
flute because the walkthrough told me exactly where it goes, and then I looked up what it did and I completely forgot.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how important that was.
So if the thing about the story seemed kind of cool was like you are the descendant of some guy, and then there's like three guys that are also descendants of some other three guys, and then you're supposed to get magic items from them. Is that correct?
Um, I think so. More of the story gets told in the both the sequel, which is Dragon Quest 2, and then the prequel, which is Dragon Quest 3. And I think in Dragon Quest 3, you may be playing as Erdrick. I'm not sure,
Mm.
But yeah, so he saved the day many years ago, but then someone found the dragon, and the dragon possessed a dragon lord, and they stole the orb of light, which allows creatures to come in the overland, and then they stole the princess, which is why you need to go rescue the princess.
What's the princess's name again?
Gwaylin? I can tell you because I've got Gwaylin's love. Let me see what it says. Yeah, Gwaylin. Gwaylin's love is an item that you get when you rescue her that she will tell you how many points you need until your next promotion, how many
Oh,
experience you need. And
nice.
then she'll tell you your location in regards to the castle. Like you are 27 west and 42 north or something like that from the
Oh,
Oh.
castle, which is helpful because someone along the way tells you where to search for something and they give you a precise location for it.
oh wow.
But the interesting thing is you can win this game without rescuing the princess. Like that is not a step that you need,
Oh. Let her rot.
which I never realized because yeah, I never realized because it just seems like that's your first quest. He says go rescue, Gwaylin, and then go kill the dragon lord. But you can like, just straight up go and kill the dragon lord without saving the princess.
You don't need her.
Wow. I like how there's like a random townie in probably like the first town, the one right next to the castle, I think, where it's like a girl and you talk to her and she's like, I'm not the Princess Gwaylin. I'm like, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
In one of the last towns that you go to, there's just a girl in a room, and she just says, "Go away, or I'll call for help."
Oh.
Like every time you talk to her,
Interesting.
that's all she says
Girl's
Okay.
traumatized.
until you win the game, and then everybody's dialogue changes, and
Oh.
it says like,
You're the hero.
you saved the day, yeah, you're a hero. Long live whatever your name is. So, what was everybody's name? Danny, what was your name?
My name was Dan.
Just Dan.
Yeah, that's my go-to for like arcade machines when there's only 3 letters, so that's what I did.
There's
Gotcha.
more than 3 letters.
I know, but
You can
Okay.
do 8, but it only shows 4 on your like status screen. So
Oh,
what'd you go
mine
with, Amber?
Ambi.
AMBY?
Yes. What'd you go? Did you micromanage?
I
Did
went with
you go to a website and try to pick your stats, like your name?
no, but that is interesting. That's a mechanic in the game.
Yeah.
wait,
I
what?
thought that was really cool. Like the way to randomize, I guess, your like starting stats, and I don't know if it comes into play every time you level up, but it's the first 4 letters of your name. And there's like some algorithm. So of course you can go online and like type in your name and see what you're gonna get. Because if you're gonna get plus magic but minus attack power or whatever,
So did I
Yeah.
get less stuff since I only put 3 letters?
I think it cycles back to the beginning or something like that.
It just adds numeric values for each letter, and it comes up with some number that it uses to say whether each time you level up if you get more strength than magic or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Is that just to make it like a different experience for everyone? Or
Yep, I think so. But my
So what
name
was
was
your name?
Geek Master. minus an E, MASTR. So on the main screen it just says geek.
Nice.
It's nice to walk around. People say, "Long live Geek Master."
That's funny.
But yeah, as far as game mechanics go, I would say that I could probably make this game with tools that we have today, like pretty quickly.
Yeah, like Pico 8.
Like
It
it
reminds
is
us.
not large. The
Mm,
overland screen is not large at all. Now, what slows you down is obviously the fact that
there's
every 16
mountains and
steps you get to a harder
yeah.
type of monster. Um, but in the overall story, although it's your typical damsel in distress, save the world type story, it's still pretty. There's like 2 things to do. Now you have to go and get different parts along the way to do those things because you have to get some different like the different pieces of the rainbow to make the rainbow bridge so you can get to the castle. Because
Sure.
it's kind of neat that you start seeing right from your very beginning, you see the final castle on your
So
screen.
that's the final castle, the one just below that's surrounded by the swamp?
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay.
So it's only five blocks east and 5 blocks south of your starting location. But you do need to get 3 different things to make the rainbow bridge. So that is part of it. You have to go.
Oh, so do you just rainbow bridge straight from the castle down there?
No, it's from the southeast.
Oh.
They call it the South Isle. So
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't get to the dragon, you didn't get to the dark tunnel that connects the northern isle to the southern isle. There's like a
No, the
dark.
the cave that you go through and you just run down?
Yeah.
I went there.
Oh, okay. So that
And
inside
then
there.
inside there, I was fighting some things. And then
Okay.
I
So
came out
if you
and
don't
fought
go
some
straight
things and almost died.
if you don't go straight down,
Oh.
you go to the right. About halfway down, you go to the right. There's a door.
Oh.
That's where the princess is. But you have to fight the dragon first. So you fight the
Oh.
dragon, open
And
the
then what's in
door.
the castle?
Which castle?
The
The
Rainbow Bridge Castle.
That's where the dragon lord is.
Oh, the Dragon Lord is the big bad. The dragon
Yeah.
is just the
So
little bad.
the green dragon is probably the hardest thing that you'll meet up to that point. But then the green
Mm-hmm.
dragon becomes a common foe in
Oh,
the Southlands. And
okay.
then there's blue dragons and red dragons. They get harder and harder.
Mm.
And spoiler alert, in case anybody's listening to this that cares about playing a game that's released in 1989, the final battle with the Dragon Lord, he first thing he does is he offers you to rule the world with him,
Ooh.
and
Oh.
if you say yes, then the game's over and you lose.
Fun.
I would have
But
done it.
if you say no, then the battle begins, and the Dragon Lord is very easy to fight, like 3 hits dead. He's only got one spell, and it's I think hurt more, so he
Mm.
can't even put you to sleep or anything. But then once you kill him, then he becomes his true form of the dragon, and then you have to fight the
Whoa.
dragon, and the dragon is considerably harder to fight. But luckily, all it can do is attack and breathe fire. But your attacks that are normally doing like 40 damage at this point are doing like 6 or 7 damage to him
Wow.
because he's got dragon scale armor.
Can you make him sleep?
No,
Mm.
at least I don't think so. I don't think any spells work against him. So it's just attack, heal, and at level 20, you can kill him. But it took my last hit to kill him. Like
Wow.
I was just about out of magic points, so I couldn't heal again. So it was kind of like a YOLO.
YOLO.
But yeah, so overall, very simple story, very simple thing, and it's gotten some criticism for that as the time has progressed, because I guess the sequels are much better than the original. It was
Hmm.
considered to be revolutionary for its time, as far as like bringing a JRPG to Northern America.
I bet.
And the writer Yuji Horii said that he wanted to make it kind of simple on purpose. Now this is a good excuse, but I believe him. He wanted to make it simple on purpose because traditional RPGs have a lot to learn about them. D&D rules, they're based on D&D rules, and he wanted a wider audience for this.
Cool.
Smart.
Something that you could just pick up and play. So
Yeah.
that is true. At the same time, actually a year before this came out, we've got a game called Ultima 4, which you've heard me talk about as being probably the best game of all time. The fourth in the Ultima series, which was, he did cite the Ultima games and the Wizardry games as being games that he played that he enjoyed, that he wanted to base this on. But Ultima 4, to give you an idea, again, released before this, would be like the equivalent of the original Legend of Zelda versus Breath of the Wild. So the depth of Ultima 4 is so much more, story, mechanics, just everything
Yeah.
compared to this game, which was released after it. So you'd have to think, all right, it must have been, it would have to be a conscious choice to make it this simplistic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think is a bad thing because like you just chill, you got an hour to kill, load up the game, kill a couple monsters, go talk to the king to save your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I don't know
very
how you can
brainless.
yeah.
And you don't have to read that much, which I like.
Oh yeah, which which reading speed did you guys put?
Oh,
I think I put the fastest because I knew better.
that's. I didn't know you could, like, when you would kill a monster, or like when you'd fight a monster, and it'd be like, oh, he hit you, and you hit him.
Yeah, one of the first
Oh,
things you do
that's one of the
is you pick
things
the speed.
that annoyed me. It would take me like
It was too
30
slow.
seconds to kill a monster. I'm like, okay, I hit him.
Now you know. So next year when we play Final Fantasy 1, you'll know to select higher speed.
Should have known.
So Final Fantasy pretty soon after this, I think, released, and much deeper of a game. So
Similar mechanically though.
similar except for the fact that you get 4 people in your party. So when you're fighting, you're
Oh.
not fighting one monster. You're fighting anywhere from 1 to, I think, 8 or 12
Okay.
monsters, and you tell each one, attack this one, attack that one, so on and
Right.
so forth. Kind of like probably similar to what's that game that you were playing that was like that. They've had
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem, yeah. Don't they have a battle sequence like that?
The battle sequence is all like location based and not like it is turn based, but it's not like text based, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You like have to walk to someone and then if they're in range then you hit them or whatever.
Oh, that's right. It's more
Yeah.
like Advance Wars and stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha. But yeah, so I'm calling out Final Fantasy 1 for RetroSeptembo next year.
Okay.
Nice.
So buckle up. Which leads us to next week.
Yeah.
What are we playing next week?
Metroid.
Metroid.
I'm excited. How long does Metroid take to beat?
It's probably in the 6 to 10 hours, I guess, depending on your skill.
I don't have to play on my phone this time.
Yeah.
About 6 hours.
6 hours.
Easy.
7 to 8 hours maybe. But 6 hours.
I'm gonna get it all.
And this one drops you in with even less instructions.
Oh,
But it's action based and you kind of figure things out.
good. I need to be like,
Jump.
someone needs to hold my hand and walk me through it.
Someone needs to teach you how to save scum.
What is that?
Yeah.
I was save scumming like a mofo in the areas that I said that I was killing one monster and going back inside the town.
Yeah.
Because there was always a possibility that wasn't going to happen. And anybody die?
I died
I
in the very beginning.
What's the
died, but I was able to.
repercussions?
I don't
Oh.
know, because I had all my gold and I had all my stuff, so I don't know what it was.
I think you lose half your gold.
Maybe I just didn't have enough in the first place.
Yeah, when you have 2 gold, you don't notice. It's a little different when you're saving up for something that's 90,000.
7,000.
True. Did you got
90,000?
Well, I think the last shield was like 148,000.
Oh my gosh. What?
But then after you buy that, there's nothing else to spend money on. Right now, I'm sitting with 44,790 gold.
You can donate to me.
I got nothing to do with it.
So there's the item, the dragon scale, right? And I looked
Yes.
it up that it gives you 2 defense. Is that like a permanent 2 defense?
Yeah, you buy it once and that's it.
Oh, I was wondering what that
Oh,
was.
you can't buy like 50 of them?
No, no.
Oh, I was about to say, well, that's what you could do with all your money.
Yeah, that's like the first thing you should buy.
Oh, I didn't know
I never
that.
bought it.
I never bought it.
Yeah, and I had to look up, and I've beat this game before. I had to look up to see what wings did versus, the things that make the repel stuff, the potions that make the monsters not attack you as often.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so back to Metroid. We're playing Metroid for next week. I've never beat the game. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to beat the game, but I'm gonna try to get as many screens in as I can,
I'm
and
gonna
I
try my best.
hope you guys do the same.
Yep.
So, anything else on Dragon Warrior before we call this an episode?
I
I
wish I
don't think
could
so.
walk diagonally.
That doesn't happen for another 2 or 3 generations of consoles.
It's like, because like most of the, what is it, overlands is like diagonal paths, and I'm like, I just want to walk diagonally.
Did you notice that the terrain has a higher or lower percentage of random encounters?
I figured maybe that had something
Yeah.
to do with it, but like,
There's a website that has all the stats of the game and all the
mm-hmm.
mechanics listed out, and it tells you like on grass you have a 1 in 48 chance, and on the hills you have like a 1 in 16 chance.
Yeah. I think
So
I noticed.
it's pretty cool that you can dissect all that down to percentages of how often the foe is going to try to cast a sleep spell on you and that kind of stuff.
How much damage does the swamp do? Because I feel
It's
like I walked through a little bit of swamp and I lost like almost. I was at like 1 HP when I walked out of the swamp. I'm like, I did not walk in that much of swamp.
Yeah, to get
You're
into
almost won't.
that tunnel.
Yeah.
Once you get Erdrick's armor, no more damage from swamp and no more damage from force fields.
Force fields?
Those little glowy things.
Oh, I walked into that at the castle and I was like, huh, what's this? And I like almost died.
Oh.
So I encourage you, Amber, to finish out the game.
I probably will. I'm gonna try at least.
And Danny,
You have no hope.
if you've got a spare 4 years, I encourage you
I
to try
gotta start
also.
working on the next game.
Yeah.
I can't
Work on the next game first.
Can't double back
Yeah.
yet.
After RetroSeptembo, I encourage you guys to continue on and feel the same level of accomplishment that your father has.
Okay.
Boom.
Good.
All right. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Metroid next week.
Woo!
So we want to thank you all for listening. If you got a chance to play the game along with us, let us know. Send us an email, podcast@retroseptembo.com.
Good try.
podcast@familygeekery.com. Check out our socials. Check out the YouTube channel. See what's going on there. We thank you as always for listening. And until next time,
Peace out.
Peace out.
And geek out.
Geek out. Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.